Hello, I'm Kit, your friendly feminist cat lady spinster, and welcome to the 11th day of Tradmas. The 12 Days of Tradmas is a series looking at people in the trad or traditional movement, and today we are looking at Masculine Revival, run by a man named Brendan. Per his Instagram bio, he is Unfiltered, Unapologetic Masculinity, Masculine and Feminine Dynamics, Gender Roles and Relationships, Traditional Values. He also does coaching. Is he qualified to be a coach? I am not entirely sure, but let's have a look at some of the things he's been posting about. You are betting against the odds when you try to live as the exception to the general rule. Generally speaking, you should strive to do the things that people have always done unless you have a very, very good reason to do otherwise. Because I don't want to, does that count as a good reason? Imagine if women derive their sense of value from their ability to do all the things that a man could never do instead of competing and comparing themselves to men. I don't understand this one. Is this because women are out in the workforce? Is that why he thinks that women are competing and comparing themselves against men? Feminist women are fighting for empowerment, while feminine women already feel empowered. Funny how that works. How is that funny? The modern feminist is at war with herself. Feminist in the mind and feminine in the body, two competing narratives clash for her attention. So Brendan does a thing where he writes really long, thoughtful posts, but I kind of wonder if he thinks he's smarter than he really is, because this makes no sense. Yes, I have a feminine body, and I'm a feminist, so I guess that means I have a feminist mind, but I'm not at war with myself. Why would I be at war with myself? And what does two competing narratives clash for her attention even mean? Does he think that you can't be, it's a fairly common assumption, but does he think that you can't be feminine and feminist? These people need to get out more. A strong, masculine man has the power to help a willing woman deconstruct her feminist mindset and get back into touch with her femininity. Whatever narrative works for you, buddy, I guess. I am, however, quite enjoying the notion that women need men to help them become more feminine. He does have some book recommendations. King, Warrior, Magician, Lover, The Way of the Conscious Warrior, The Masculine in Relationship, The Biblical Masculinity Blueprint, Hard Times Create Strong Men, The Alpha Female's Guide to Men in Marriage, The Oracle, the Queen, the Princess, and the Whore, Wild at Heart, Masculinity Amidst Madness, The Way of Men, The Way of the Superior Man, Iron John, The Rational Male, No More Mr. Nice Guy, Can't Hurt Me, Waking the Tiger, The Surrendered Wife, Practical Female Psychology, Man's Search for Meaning, Conscious Men, De-Evolution, The Alchemist, and The Multi-Orgasmic. Men and women to the left and right of me are getting canceled by friends, family, and employers. Is this the progress that we have been promised? And oh hey look, there's Mrs. Midwest. We've all been canceled on some level, but we're all still here. At first I thought it was just the right-wing people who are getting attacked, but now if you're a Bible-believing Christian, that's enough to get canceled. So at this point, whatever. Alright, fess up. Who canceled Mrs. Midwest and when, because I don't remember it. It's so important for women to start families. With very few exceptions, women that don't start families transform into angry, bitter, maladapted, shrieking sociopaths with their therapist on speed dial. Fighting biology never ends well. Women are meant to nurture. Does starting a family mean getting married, or does it only mean having kids? Can you only nurture humans? You can't nurture anything else? And also, is she telling me that infertile women are all going to become maladaptive, shrieking sociopaths? Because that's really insulting to infertile women. Actually, that's insulting to women in general. I mean, we have moved past the age of the wandering uterus, Candace, so keep up. Men are not women. Women are not men. It seems so elementary, like such an embarrassing simple concept. Yet here we are, an entire Instagram page devoted to sharing the groundbreaking reality. Men and women are different. One might ask, why does any of this even matter? It matters because the bond between man and woman is the bond that creates all life. And when there is discord in that relationship, it ripples out into every other facet of human existence. If man and woman can't get it right, then there is little hope for the family. If there's little hope for the family, then what hope is there for the world outside of the home? Healing symptoms ignorant of root causes isn't healing at all. If we are to heal, we are to heal from the roots. Men, women, children, family. It's very interesting to me that he uses man of God, biblical masculinity, and the word divine, but I don't really remember any biblical anything in his posts. Just a lot of this man ruminating on life. Treating men and women as if they are the same dishonors both sexes and creates an environment of confusion, contention, and competition. Someone please explain to me the problem with treating all humans with a blanket courtesy. Women relaxing into their femininity and feeling loved, cherished, secure, and safe. Men rising into their masculinity and feeling respected and admired while they lovingly serve, provide, and protect. This is the way. So here we have one where someone is stabbing themselves through a state of heart, I don't know, with a sword labeled political correctness. And someone commented, nationalism, not globalism. And Brendan responds, I'm with ya. And this other person did hashtag great replacement. And if you didn't know what that is, feel free to look it up. And Brendan responds, I'm too deep into this stuff as is, brother. Some are more subtle than others, but it's always there. Don't apologize for being white and celebrate your European heritage. This drives me insane because there is no European heritage. There's German heritage, there's Spanish heritage, there's Norwegian heritage. There is no European heritage. Yes, women set the emotional tone in the home. When she can safely rest in your sense of direction, the emotional tone improves. When you make your entire sense of direction and purpose to make her happy, the emotional tone will continue to sour. This might be the only thing that I agree with Brendan on. Don't change yourself to try to make someone else happy, because there's a saying, I forget how it goes, but essentially, if you try to make two people happy, the end result was that you'll make no one happy. What do you think about a wife's submission to her husband's authority? And someone responded, if a man has trustworthy integrity and character, his woman will intuitively honor him. And Brendan says, when love, polarity, and respect is there, she wants you to take her. When did this become a creepy romance novel? Submission as a woman does not mean that you are less than a man. It's not something that you do because you are incapable or helpless. It's something you do out of the deepest respect and trust. Wise women understand that submission is not only a gift that you give to a worthy man, it is a gift that you give to yourself. When a man is actively leading, protecting, and providing, it gives space and time for a woman to flourish in her femininity. Through her submission, she honors him by giving him the space to go do the things that he is hardwired to do. Through her submission, she relinquishes control, which inspires him to continue to show up for her in the best way possible. Submission is not a condemnation of the feminine, it is an invitation to be fully feminine. Submission is a gift that keeps on giving. It's really enjoyable, these men that are trying to tell women that, no, you think you're giving it power, and you are, but it's a gift. Also, there's like a hint of victim blaming, where if you submit to the wrong man, it's your fault for not being woman enough to realize he wasn't a strong enough man to lead you. The right man will understand that submission is a sacred act and isn't to be exploited or taken advantage of. The fear that so many women have of submission is warranted, but it is definitely the way for a harmonious marriage. The irony here is that, so far as I'm aware, he is not married. Men lead, women follow is not some misogynistic throwback to a bygone age. It is a simple acknowledgement of biological reality. I've never seen a study that says men lead and women follow. Spend fertile years in college, then spend the rest paying off the debt from the education while working for a man equals empowerment and progress. Get married, have kids, and willingly play a feminine role in a man's life equals backwards and outrageously offensive. So having kids and getting married is not offensive. I'm not really sure what willingly play a feminine role in a man's life means, but so people usually spend 18 to 22 in college, and you are fertile for a while after that. I don't understand this need to pretend that fertility suddenly just stops at 30, and pressuring women to get into a relationship when they're really young and don't yet know what they want out of their life is a bad idea, and that is how the divorce rate goes up. I do find it ironic that they think people should get married younger whilst also preaching against divorce. And also, I really enjoy the assumption that a woman is going to be working for a man, because there are no female bosses. I feel like they give themselves away when they always assume a woman is working for a man. A traditional relationship does not mean that the woman is unemployed. Her full-time job is loving, supporting, and serving her husband, and in return, she is protected and provided for. Yeah, and in return, he works his 9 to 5 or whatever, comes home and puts his feet up, and in return, she is always on call because the home is her job and she is always home. This last one just made me go, what? You can be a man, or you can be with a man. What does that even mean? Is she saying that a woman who lives alone and supports herself is a man? What if one lives alone, supports herself, and is in a relationship with a man? Is she still a man? I do not understand this one, but it did kind of give me some amusement, so I thought I would share it. Brendan alludes to the Bible, but I would say he is trad first and religious second, because the Bible only kind of shows up when convenient. It's not what he's basing everything around. I do appreciate that he writes out these long posts so you can kind of see where he's coming from and where his thought process is going, but I disagree with his conclusions. Obviously, otherwise I would not be making this video. Anyway, that is it for the 11th day of Tradmas. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as possible considering the content, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!